After analyzing over 2 million in ad spend for ourselves and clients, here are the 7 steps that we always take to optimize campaigns, making sure that we're not paying too much per click and we're maximizing those conversions. So timestamps below, along with some other helpful links and resources, including a link to our Google Ads Playbook that has all of these listed out in detail so you can audit your own campaigns to maximize conversions, as well as keyword and copywriting formulas to help you refine the campaigns that you already have. So now that you've hopefully created your campaign, run it for a little bit of time, or maybe you have some old campaigns that you want to come back to. And of course, hopefully you have your site assets set up. You've gone through the keyword research. You're finally ready to go. Your campaign's been running, or you're just wondering what do you do once the campaign runs. The first thing you're going to want to do inside the Google Ads interface is set up your columns. So I'll go ahead and jump into our demo account here, and I'll go ahead and click to modify columns. Now I'll jump over to a client account so you can see the columns that I like to use. This is specifically for search campaigns, but it's just minor modifications for other types. So I like having clicks, costs, impressions, CTR, and average CPC. So clicks is just how many clicks did it get? Cost is how much did it cost you over whatever period you're looking at. And then impressions is how many times the ad showed up. Average cost per click, this is how much on average did you wind up paying. Irrespective of your bid type, at the end of the day, you kind of pay per click. So even if you're doing some advanced things like custom conversion actions or cost per action or maximize conversions, CPC is still going to be helpful. And then of course, CTR, that's the click-through rate of your ads. And so scrolling down here, I also recommend adding conversions. If you don't have conversion tracking set up, you probably don't if you're getting started for the first time, then that's the next thing you want to do after watching this guide. So link in the cards in the description to how to use Tag Manager, how to set all that up. Although now you have to put the tag directly on your site. So I shouldn't say Tag Manager. So confusing. So now we'll go ahead and scroll down. For the most part, I don't use most of these other ones, but I do like to know the optimization score. This tells us what does Google think about our campaign in terms of how optimized it is. Although don't fall into the trap of optimizing for your score. You always want to optimize for conversions because the score and your conversions, not always the same thing. And then of course, I'll go ahead and select bid strategy. You only need to click that if you're doing some more advanced automated bidding strategies. Competitive metrics, this can be really helpful because you can start to see where you're missing out on certain aspects. And you can do this at the campaign and the ad group level. So what I like to do is have search lost as budget and search lost as rank. And so this tells me how many times did our ads not show up because we ran out of money? And then how many times did our ads not show up because Google thinks our ads stink? So that's what those two. And then search impression share just kind of lets you know it's a general number of all the times you could have showed up. What percentage are you? And the higher this number, the more optimized you are and the closer you are to maximizing your market. And then if you're doing phone calls, you can go ahead and add phone calls. So I realize that can be a little confusing, but those are the columns I like to add when doing the analysis. And speaking of analysis, there's going to be an issue that you're going to run into when you start looking at your campaigns. So this is an example of a campaign that we ran in the past. And you'll notice here that one ad group got 40,000 impressions and the other got 3,000. How do you compare that? You really can't. And so some of the times when you go in, this is very normal. What you're going to have to do is, number one, either say, okay, well, I don't care. This one's working well enough, and just turn off the one that didn't get enough impressions. Or you need to go make a separate campaign just for this ad group so that you can tell Google, spend $5 here or 10 and spend $5 or $10 here, and force Google to spend that money on that ad group so you can learn about whatever targeting or keyword ad sets you have inside that ad group. And so that's something that you're going to find a lot with Google Ads because you set your budgets at the campaign level. And so Google is going to just spread their budget however they see fit, or spread your budget however they see fit across your different ad groups. And so it's really common to come in here and go, why did you spend all my money, $140 on just one ad group? I have all these other ones. Why won't you spend it? And the answer is, Don't know. So you have to create a new campaign. So with that, let's go ahead and jump over to another account. And this is going to be where you want to look at keywords. And so to look at keywords, just click the ad group you want to analyze and then go ahead and click on search keywords. So I'll go ahead and make this all big here. And of course, just blurring out some sensitive client information. But what you want to look at is your clicks, impressions, and CTR. And so what you're looking at here is saying, okay, which keywords are getting us traffic? You need to have at least 1,000 impressions for you to evaluate a keyword. So in this particular ad group, we can only evaluate these first 3 because the rest don't have 1,000 impressions yet. So we just need to wait until they have some impressions. And once they do, we can look at their click-through rate and we can see these are all above 10% with the exception of this one, vet. And so number 1, we could say, well, for whatever reason, that keyword doesn't seem to work for us, and you could turn it off. Or if you have conversion tracking set up, you can start looking at the number of conversions you're getting per keyword. Although for most accounts, unless you're spending thousands a month, your conversions are going to be so small, it's going to be really hard to actually make decisions on conversions. So we'll keep talking about click-through. Now, the other thing you can do is look at costs. And this is where this is analysis, right? It's not black and white because we're looking at, oh, well, the click-through rate's bad, but it doesn't cost as much money to get people. But then you can see over here on the conversion rate, it actually winds up being lower than some of these other ones. And so in this particular instance, I would have turned off vet and I would have turned off affordable vet because the conversion rates are so low and we've reached statistical significance with the conversion rates. If you don't have conversion rates, then just look at your click-through rate. It's not the best, and most ad managers would just look at me in shock, like, what are you doing? Why would you make those decisions based on click-through rate? And so if you don't have conversion data, you can always just base your decisions based upon click-through rate until you get statistically significant with conversions. Now, let's go ahead and jump over to a search terms report. So inside of your ad group, you can go ahead and come down here to search terms, and I'll just go ahead and make this nice and big. And as you'll see here, these are all the actual search phrases or close variants of them that our ad showed up for when someone went to type into Google. And so what you want to go through this list and do is essentially say, are any of these things we should not be showing up for? That's pretty much what you want to do. And so this is how you start to refine the keywords and the search phrases that you show up for. Now, is this going to show every single search phrase? No. Is this going to show the exact search phrases every single time? No. And of course, when you go ahead and look at impressions here, and you'll see even though this campaign has spent $13,000, we can look at the impressions and see that very quickly you'll get into search terms that have only showed up 26 times. So you probably only need to look at this once a month, depending upon your budget. And again, we're just looking in here saying, hey, do we want to be showing up for these keywords? So as another example, here's another account. You can see here, we have some keywords highlighted like adoption and that we definitely don't want to be showing up for. So we'd go ahead and add adoption as a negative keyword to our ad group so that we don't show up for those types of keywords. And to do that, we'll go ahead and collapse. You can click on negative keywords and then you'll be able to add those negative keywords at the ad group level. I like adding them at the ad group level just because that makes sure that you don't mess up, you don't have conflicts with other campaigns because sometimes it's hard to remember what keyword was where. Now for the fun part, ad optimization. Very similar to keyword optimization, we're going to be looking at our click-through rates and conversion data if we have them. And so for this particular example, I won't be using a search campaign. I'll be using a discovery campaign just because that's all I have in this particular account that has enough data to do much of anything with. So the first thing we want to do, just like with our keywords, is make sure that they have at least 1,000 impressions. So I'll be looking at these ads. And then I'm going to either look at conversion data, which I don't have for this particular campaign. So instead, I'll be looking at click-through rate. Well, looking at the click-through rate here, I can see that the first two are above 2%. This one's only at 1.252, and then this one's at 2.4. Well, this tells me this one is definitely performing the best out of all of them, and it's only costing me 11 cents per click. So something with this particular ad combination is working really, really well. Now, in this particular instance, you'll see that they're all in the same ad group, which is important. So you want to be evaluating this on an ad group level. And then also that just makes sure that every single ad is targeting the same audience. So you need the same audience. So you're having apples to apples comparison. And since these three are targeting in the same ad group, I can compare them. And even though this is only at 12,000 and this one has over 1,000 more, I could go ahead and turn these two off and just let this one run, because this one's obviously doing better and it's way costing us significantly less than this one for sure we'd turn off. And then we go into the creative and we figure out, okay, why is this one working while the other ones aren't? Now, even with search ads, you're going to have multiple different headlines floating around, and responsive display and discovery are going to do the same. So it is difficult to figure out what specifically in this combination of headlines or this combination of images is causing it to be really cheap or provide really good click-through rates versus some of the other ones. And that's going to be where you're sometimes you just wind up guessing, right? It can kind of feel like a guess. Well, I think it's this image or I think it's this headline. And so you create a new ad and you let Google test it, right? And we could come back and find that the new ad we made does way worse. And we're like, okay, well, at least we left the one that was winning on. And that's kind of how you continue to optimize and test your ads. And of everything that you do, once you find your audience and keywords, ad testing is going to be the majority of how your time is spent, because once you find your audience and your customer base, then it's just a matter of figuring out how do we best communicate to them and best call out to them so they understand that we can provide a better solution or the best solution compared to all of our other competitors. Now, depending upon your type of business, this next one may or may not be all that important, and that's going to be location optimization. So if you are a brick and mortar or you're servicing a specific geographical area, this is really important. If you're doing just general online services or e-commerce, probably not going to matter as much. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into another campaign example. So once you're inside your campaign, you can come down here to locations, click on location, and then you can go ahead and start to see data based upon your location targeting. Now, if you come in here and you just have one country or one state, then the first thing you want to do is change that so you have the individual states, territories, zip codes. And even if you're using radius targeting, you want to make sure that you're always including zip codes or neighborhoods on top of radius targeting so you have a list of things to look at here. Now, as you can see with this one, even though we had 44,000 impressions, there's not really enough data for us to know. I mean, we're spreading it across 50 states. So in this instance, I would probably just leave things alone. But if you wanted to, you could come over here to bid. Like, let's say for whatever reason, we know New Yorkers hate our stuff. Well, we could either, number one, we could add this we could take it out of targeting and exclude it. So that would be something where we come up here to edit and add New York as an excluded territory. Or we could just say, well, we just don't want to pay as much. We'll do minus 90%, or not increase, decrease 90%. And let's say Texans really like our stuff, right? So for some reason, people in Texas really like our stuff. So we'll go ahead and do that. So Texas plus 90, New York minus 90. And then let's say Californians are pretty neutral on us. So we'll just say increase by 20. And then Florida will say we'll decrease by 20, right? So I'm just kind of making things up here. You can get really OCD. And for the most part, it really doesn't matter. It's going to be months until your campaign has enough data for this kind of stuff to matter, but it's here. And of course, you also can click edit, and that will allow you to start excluding locations if you find that for whatever reason, that type of location targeting is really performing poorly. Now, our second to last optimization is going to be devices. So I'll jump over to another campaign here, jumping all over the place with these examples. And as you can see here, we have computers, mobile, tablet, and TV screens. And so what you can do is you can make bid adjustments if you don't want to show up on a particular device. So in this particular instance, we took off mobile phones and tablets because in a previous test, we figured out people are on mobile, they keep clicking, the clicks are super cheap, but then they don't join our email list. They don't get the cool free thing that we're trying to offer them. So even though it was more expensive, we wound up having everyone go to a desktop for this particular one. Although you can see the CTR was really, really bad. So this is an example of a campaign that was a total flop. But irrespective of that, you're gonna have quite a few misses as part of the ad game. You can actually come in here and decide, hey, you know what? Why don't we in one campaign, we're going to take away desktop, right? And then in the other campaign, we're going to take away mobile. So you essentially have two campaigns that are almost identical to each other. The only difference is the devices that they are targeting. And so you'll sometimes find that maybe you need a different message or a different style landing page. And that's why mobile traffic wasn't working, right? Maybe even though you have a responsive site, something wasn't, quite working well on the smaller screen size. So we just needed to make a different page. And now just like that, things are working well. So the final one is going to be your ad schedule. So here's an account from one of our clients where they only want their ads essentially running while their office is open. And so what you can do here is once you've set these up, and if you don't have them in your account, you can just hit this little schedule icon or the pencil to edit, and you can create different blocks throughout the day. And so then you can come in here and you can start to analyze which times of day and which days of the week wind up performing the best. For 9 out of 10 business owners, you're probably never going to make it to this point. It probably doesn't matter because you need to get so much traffic in order to reach statistical significance with these different time blocks, right? And so that's the last optimization that you'll be looking at. But out of everything that we've talked about, starting off looking at your keywords or your audience targeting, that is priority number one. Which one of who you're targeting, finding where your ideal customer is, making sure you go through that search terms report to add those negative keywords, and then it becomes all about your ad copy and creative. How do we increase our conversions and click-through rates by optimizing our ads? And then when it comes to your locations and devices and scheduling, that's something you'll probably do in month 3 or 4 once you have enough data to actually make some good decisions because you've reached statistical significance with enough. And that's at least 1,000 impressions. Ideally, you'd want 100 clicks, but as long as you have 1,000 impressions, you can start making decisions. So thank you so much for watching. Sincerely hope you got some value out of this video, especially feel a lot more confident with what on earth to do with your ad campaigns once they're live and how do we actually fix these? How do we get more clicks and get more conversions without our costs driving through the roof? So make sure you check out that link in the cards in the description to our Google Ads Playbook that will walk you through this process and help you with your keyword research and of course ad writing and creative because that's going to be a constant. Hit that like button, subscribe for more marketing guides just like this one, and until the next, keep building the business you love.